And the more I read this, there are so much of small nuggets of what you call it, gems actually, lessons that we can learn from this. Before we read, I'll just basically give a little summary of the whole passage. Jesus had been teaching. I mean, this was in the early part. It's Luke 7, verse 1 to 10. Luke 7. It was in the early part of his ministry. I don't think by this time he had already got all the 12 disciples. He has already got Peter, John, and a few others, and he was going from place to place to place, and he ended up in a place called Capernaum. Anybody know what Capernaum is? I give you a clue. It's very close to the Sea of Galilee. There's a lake. Which part? North, south, east, west? North. Just at the northern tip. And where's Jerusalem? Is it close to Capernaum? No. Jerusalem is very far south in the Dead Sea, very close to the Red Sea. And Nazareth is also very close to Lake of Galilee, but in the south. So you see, if you look at the map, it's a long. Jesus has been traveling here, there, all over the place, and he had come to this place in Capernaum. And there was this Roman centurion. Centurion is a soldier. Century means what? Century. 100, right? So 100, 1 century is 100. Very good. It's 100. That means he has got 100 soldiers under him. So this centurion, we call him the Roman centurion, but some commentaries say he may not be a Roman. He could be a non-Jew, because sometimes they employ, like, what you call that, the tax collector. Who was a tax collector? What's his name? Not Zacchaeus. No, the one who was a tax collector.
Zacchaeus. Is it Zacchaeus?
No, Zacchaeus was the man who climbed up. Matthew. No, there was another tax collector who even and collected taxes. Okay, never mind. So sometimes they employ, the Romans also employ people to collect taxes for. So they give some. So this guy, we call him the Roman centurion. Could have been a Roman, I was told, or may not have been a Roman. But he had a servant or slave. Some people say they say some are slaves. And to the centurion, to the Roman, a slave is nothing. You die. I mean, I can get another 10 other, what you call it, slaves. For them, slave is nothing. You know what I mean? It's just to make use of them, do all their work, and then if you are sick or this, they don't care. Okay, you die also. They can even kill their servants if they felt. You know what I mean? That was a relationship between the master and the slave. And this centurion had a slave or a servant who was sick, very sick, and was about to die. He is not dead yet, but he was very, very sick. And then Jesus, centurion, he heard that Jesus was passing through Capernaum. And the beauty of this centurion is that he was a very, very good man. He was helpful to the Jews. He even built a temple for them. So this centurion called some of his friends and said, look, Jesus is coming. Can you go and please tell Jesus to heal? I've got a sick servant. Can you just ask him to heal him? We might feel very funny. You're so proud. You can't go and call you have to send his servant. Okay, we will later find out why he did that. It's very interesting why he did that. And then on the way, they called Jesus. So these friends went and told Jesus, Jesus, this centurion is a good man. He has done a lot of things for us. He even paid his own money and built a synagogue for us. Wow. Where got 8 Romans, and these people are supposed to be the enemies of the Jews. You know what I mean? They were this, but this centurion had a heart. He must have been a very, very good man. First of all, sick slave, you go and ask to be healed. Hey, nothing to do. You know what I mean? Hey, this is like 5 cents for a slave is like 5 cents for him. Throw, get another one. He can get another 10, 12. You can get many more. But he didn't do that. He wanted this servant to be healed. So what would have been the relationship between the slave and the master? Good or bad?
Good.
So the servant would have been a very faithful servant, did his work without grumbling, always happy, whatever the master wanted, he was. So if it had been a bad slave, do you think the centurion would have would he wanted the guy to be healed? Maybe not. I'm not saying yes, but maybe not. Maybe not. Wow, he every time kacho fight with all the other servant la, this la, that la. Now sick, he will say, this serves you right. You go and whether you leave or not, I don't want to kill you, but whether you leave or not, I don't, I mean, you know what I mean, not my pasal. No. But this centurion was a very, very, very kind man. And then, that's why and then when Jesus was coming on the way to his house, he sent another group of his friends and to tell Jesus, Jesus, hey, you no need to come to my house. I'm not worthy that you come to my house. You just say a word and my servant will be healed. So he told the other friends, go and tell Jesus, Jesus, he says, no need to come to her. You just say a word, he will be healed. And then also even he says, I have people under authority. I tell them to go, they go. I tell them to do this, they do. I know what authority means. What happened if the centurion tell one of his soldiers to do this and he didn't do it? Either put into prison, even can be executed, isn't it? So this centurion knew what authority means. So what the centurion said next, Jesus, tell Jesus, you only just have to say a word and my servant will be healed. Wow. Wow, this is the faith, Jesus, don't need, I'm not worthy that you come to my house. You know what I mean? You just have to say a word because I know what authority. I know you have authority over many things. He would have heard, being a centurion, maybe he goes all over the place. He would have, heard how Jesus had healed, how Jesus can raise the dead, how, this Jesus, this is nothing to him. So his faith was, Jesus did not have to be present there. Even from a distance, if Jesus just say a word, can be this type of faith very difficult to find. And Jesus was so touched by this guy's faith. And what the thing that he next said, maybe put all the other rabbis and all the other religious people here, I have never found such faith in all Israel. Wow. I've never found him. And then Jesus, he said, he didn't want to trouble Jesus. You got many. You have just come into Capernaum. You have got there are many other things. For me, you just say a word. Don't even have to come to my house. So Jesus went off, and the servants not servants, the friends, as they went to the house, they heard that the slave was healed. He was healed. Jesus never even came to them. But one thing Jesus said was, and you know where Jesus went after that, if you read, very interesting. He went and raised a dead, somebody who was dead. A boy who was dead. I mean, you know what I mean? Here a person sick here, then he went to the other place to raise a boy who was dead. So some of the lessons we can learn from here is very, very the relationship between a master and master and servants. That, or in any company, the boss and all his workers. What type of relationship? If you are a good worker, boss cannot sack, you know what I mean? Unless he's a very terrible boss. Generally, when you are a good worker, so what lesson I learn is that whatever I do, either at home, in the church, in this, let me do my best without argument, if I got something to suggest, maybe to my superior, sir, pardon me, say it nicely. Don't say it arrogantly. Oh, I know this type, I'm an electrical engineer, I know this, the church, what aircon is gone, or this, don't worry, I can do it. Not that way. That is not. Yes, God has given us gifts, not to boast about it, but to use it to help others in a very, very, very gentle way. And no harm trying to tell them, it's, if boss is my boss, his name is boss. If boss is my boss and I come to boss, sir, you told me to do this. I've got some experience in this. Can I suggest a better way to do it? And if my boss say yes, I do. But if my boss says no, I won't argue or fight with him. I say, thank you, sir, and then go back. I will do it the way you want to do. Sorry, I thought I can. You know what I mean? I can. So the relationship between different hierarchy of people, when you maintain that relationship, life becomes easy, it becomes joyful, it becomes. So here we see the relationship between the centurion and the servant must have been very, very, very good. Then the relationship between the centurion and the Jewish, the Israel also very good. He spent his own money and go and build a synagogue for them. Where God? He spent his own money, Okay, I come again to boss. Boss is a Roman centurion now. Sir, our people don't have a place to worship, sir. There is a little bit of plot of land there. I like to build a synagogue. Hey, you go and tell the Roman soldier, I want to build a synagogue, they will most probably, because they were trying to suppress the Jews, you know what I mean, to follow the Roman, law and all that. So once you start praying to God and have a synagogue and all that, they know that will have an effect on their loyalty to the Romans. You think the Roman soldier will allow you? Difficult. Not only the centurion gave them the plot of land, he spent his own money to go and build. What a very special guy it is. I'm sure Jesus knew, you know what I mean? So when he sent them to say, this was a testimony that they told, even before the request, they told they told Jesus, sir, this man's servant is dying. He's a good man. He has been helpful. He deserves, please help him. Wow. So again we can learn whether